Hey everyone, it's Free to Play Bust. We're going to start up on another adventure or expedition here. The last one went 7 wins followed by 6 wins, so we have the shards to do these. I still need to check in on how many wins you need to get. Oh, I thought I had a draft coin, but I don't. I'm not sure how many wins you need to get to, keep chaining these together, but things keep going how they are. I don't think we'll have a whole lot of trouble pulling down 6 and 7 win expeditions. But then we do start with ones like this. I'm not huge fans of any of these. Zed's okay, but kind of the thing with these Zed cards makes you kind of want to be playing. Well, these are just kind of things to look out for. Is like these Zed cards we want to be playing with Hecarim to get his kind of ephemeral bonuses playing well with the Zed cards. This is a fairly reasonable Thresh pile. I'm not a huge fan of Thresh. He just feels understated to me. Like 3/6 Challenger isn't that exciting on his own. Like at least with Zed, it's kind of a reasonable price for what you're getting out of a unit. It is, just an aggressive unit, so he sucks blocking, but he's very strong on the attack. His 3 health turns into, 10 stats worth of attack, and so even if you're just playing Zed without combos, he's still pretty reasonable, whereas Thresh, I think, just kind of sucks on his own. And kind of the second thing I don't like about the Thresh pile is we're really wanting to start with sacrifice combos. Like, yes, Vengeance is an extremely good card, but these aren't things that really go well in a Thresh deck. We're just kind of getting a champion we might be able to use, we might not, along with a good removal spell. With the Teemo pal, the Elusive deck is pretty strong, and these are cards that do lend towards being an aggressive deck. So this isn't the worst Teemo pal. I'm not a huge fan of Clump of Wumps. I just don't like the mushroom mechanic. I don't think it's very strong. But this is a fairly reasonable pal. I think I am actually just going to go with the Teemo pal. He is pretty reasonable on his own. He's a 1-drop, which is kind of important if we're in a, say, like Yasuo style recursion deck. I think one of the best cards in the format is the 3/2 elusive for 2 that returns a unit to your hand. He plays pretty well with it. Academy Prodigy is a reasonable creature, and then, like I said, I don't really like Clump of Wumps, but it is on the more aggressive end of the spectrum, and I do feel more comfortable playing like some kind of aggressive Teemo deck than this pile over here. Like if we're taking the Teemo pile, we aren't really like cornering ourselves into doing stuff with Teemo. Like we don't need Mushroom Cloud combos. We can just kind of ignore Clump of Wumps, maybe even trade it away. Teemo's still reasonable on his own, but over here on the Zed pile, this is really counting on, I think, getting a Hecarim on the next round. So we're going to lead off with Teemo here. This looking like it's probably going to be a pretty easy Karma. I don't like Karma. I don't think she's that great of a champion. But she does kind of play well in this elusive deck. What you tend to find is we'll get like 2 or 3 elusive units down, and then we just need blockers so we don't die. And Karma kind of does that well. She can block something, we'll get a spell. They're kind of forced to deal with her, or you're just going to get a bunch of spells. She's kind of okay. And moving into this kind of elusive deck with, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure Yasuo falls in here. We do like Yasuo in this style of deck. Let me pull up the collection real quick. Cards unowned. Yeah, he's whatever this is, Ionia. So Continue. I do kind of like going in this direction. If you watch any of my constructed videos, I am playing a lot of these elusive decks with Freylord. I think they play well together, but I think here we're just going to take Karma. Might as well look at what else we have going on here. Elise is very strong, kind of like how I like Zed. She's pretty reasonable on her own. You don't need a bunch of spider combos to make her good. 2-3 for 2 is reasonable. She gets the bonus in making a unit. She's just around pretty efficient. I don't really like these cards. Arachnid Horror is fine. He's a little better than filler, but not something you're excited about. And I don't like Crawling Sensation. Like it's just it would be fine if it was like if it didn't have the requirement. Like, you know, 2/1/1s for 1 is pretty decent value. 2/1/1s for 1 with the requirements, not very good. And this pile here is fine, but we're not. I can't imagine we're trying to get into a Elite's Garen deck. So we're going to take the Karma with the 2 elusives. And here, I do like Inspiring Mentors. They're extremely good in this style of deck we're putting together, especially with the Conspirators. But Shadow Shift is kind of garbagey here. This is a good set to continue on with an aggressive deck with the Apprentice and the Prodigy. And these, I don't know why this is a synergy pick. This is not any synergy we're trying to get together. So it looks like we're going to be getting together a fairly aggressive deck. And looking here, I am a fan of the Blade Scout. He's fairly efficient, and what you'll kind of find is later in the game, you don't really want to be bouncing Inspiring Mentors. Inspiring Mentor falls off pretty hard, you know, turn 5, turn 6, even into turn 4. But the Blade Scout is still, you know, if we draw this on turn 7, it's probably going to get a point of damage in. It might bounce, or it might improve the 2-drop that gets better when you play cards. He is okay, but I'm looking more into this Mentor pile at the moment. I'm not a huge fan of Clump of Wumps, and having 1 deny is pretty strong. And then these are for the deck we aren't playing. Here, Mushroom Cloud I don't think is playable. This is extremely bad. We're kind of okay with playing Clump of Wumps and getting the Mushroom Cloud. Just playing Mushroom Cloud feels terrible. This feels a lot like in Magic, like Lava Spike. I think it would be worse than Lava Spike, but it's not really high value. But Academy Prodigy is good. I do like Will of Aonia. We'll want 1 or 2 of these. We don't really have many ways to interact with our opponents. And Ghost is not very strong. That's just kind of a seal the game kind of card. Not real excited about it. Then here, this is the pack we'll end up taking. Shadow Assassin is pretty good, and we want the Will of Aonia, so this is a pretty reasonable pack. Here, these are all reasonable. I'm not. This isn't really what we're trying to do. These are more of like Darius style cards. So looking at these, Yusari's pretty good. He has evasion. He just kind of just does a lot. He has flying, and he also has Challenger. With this, we don't have a lot of ways to interact, so Challenger is good. I'm not a huge fan of Green Glade Lookout, but he's okay. Like something like Prodigy Mage is so much better than Green Glade Lookout. And here, this is a pile I'm kind of interested in. I don't think Spirit's Refuge is a great card, especially when we're not in a Fiora deck, or I'm talking myself into this now. It plays better in like a Fiora deck or a Shen deck, to where you're actually getting into combat. With this, we're probably not going to be doing a lot of combats where we expect blockers. We're going to have our elusive creatures that are probably not going to get blocked. Academy Prodigies do well enough attacking on their own, and so we're probably not. I am kind of interested in the Lifeblade, but I think this pile over here is just going to be a little bit better. What is this? He's fine. He's a worse version of I don't know what it's called, like Scaled Raptor, the 3-drop, you can make a 2/5 or a 5/2. Probably like 75% of the time you make it a 2/5, and it plays extremely well in this style of deck. To where we're just, if you're used to a blue-white flyers deck in Magic, to where you're playing flyers and just dropping a horned turtle on the ground, this is something that you're pretty happy with. Also has an Inspiring Mentor. This is also a pretty reasonable pack. Thermogenic Beam is one of the few ways to kind of interact and actually kill something. It's very good. Not excited about the Clump of Wumps, but over here, this is the premium pick right here, the Mentor and the Conspirator. This is what our deck wants to do. If we could get like three or four of these sets, we'd be super stoked and probably just expecting to 7-0. And here, what are these? I don't. Not real excited about this. It's just card disadvantage. This guy's, he's okay. He's really understated for a 5-drop. You kind of need ways to get him evasion. He's not really strong. I don't really like River Shaper. It is like the ability is stronger than just say like like loot hoarding, since you're specifically drawing a spell, but it's not real strong. I'm not a huge fan of it. This would be our second Will of Ionia. Does he work on his own? He could be pretty reasonable. We have 2 bouncers so far, and as we get later in the game, we don't want to be bouncing Inspiring Mentors, and I think that will give us our second Will of Ionia. So I guess this really comes down to is whether or not we want River Shaper or this back alley Barkeep, and I think I would just rather have the Barkeep. Here, let's see. Zephyr Stage is pretty strong. We don't have any top end, and he does get bonuses from, say, like Inspiring Mentor. It's along with the River Shaper. This is a pretty reasonable set. Mystic Shot is fairly strong. I'd be a lot more excited if it just cost 1, but there's not very many ways in this game to directly deal damage to your opponent's units or even their face. Eager Apprentice is fine. He kind of lets you cheat. You get to play him on 2, and then he doesn't fully pay for himself in giving you spell mana, but that is pretty strong ability. I don't really like Recall. If we were in a kind of like dedicated Yasuo deck, like if our champions weren't Teemo and Karma, and we had Yasuo, we're going to be looking to swap out either Teemo or Karma for Yasuo, but we don't have him yet. And then the Blade Scout's fine, but the Recall is currently not playable. So I'm going to go over here and get this piece of top end, or I'm sorry, I'm going to get this Eager Apprentice with the Mystic Shot. What are these? This is not terrible. It is, but this isn't really the kind of deck you wanted in. If we were in something, say like, if we were heavy in Teemo, where we had lots of Clump of Wumps, and then also we're playing like Ezreal, or we're playing, if we had more Karmas, that gets a lot more interesting. But off the start, this isn't really the deck looking for Plaza Guardians. These are okay. I actually tried Dawn and Dusk and Constructed, because at first I thought you could copy anything, so I thought it would be pretty juicy to just copy a Zed and then get in with 3 Zeds and 3 Shadows, but it's only an ally. But it does play well here. Copying any of these elusive units is fairly strong, and this also has a Shadow Assassin. And then this is not actually the worst. Chump Wump, it's understated by 1, which is not that awful, but we don't actually have any top end right now. He doesn't really count as top end, but if we're getting a reasonable curve, we play a 1, we play a 2, any of these 3s, and then or a 1, a 2, and then a 2 plus a spell or something. He's really good at just sitting on the board and denying all of your opponent's early drops. If they can, if we both go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can turn off their 1, 2, and 3 drops with virtual card advantage, That's a lot of what our deck's tried to do. I'm not a huge fan of Flash of Brilliance, but it's okay. It, this is what you're wanting to do with like Plaza Guardians. And so it comes down. I think this is the actual better set of cards, this Dawn and Dusk and Shadow Assassin, and I think I'm probably going to take this, but I would understand these. We do need to be finding just a little bit more top end. Not so much like 7 and 8 drops, but 4 and 5s. Here, this is the kind of the top end I like. This is a pretty strong set right here. It's got our 3rd Conspirator, and Yone is very strong. You'll have a lot of it does very well on the offense and the defense. Coming down and shutting down your opponent's 2 best creatures and attacking with everything, or on turn 7 if we've fallen a little bit behind, because our guys aren't good at blocking. Like, nobody's going to say the Conspirator is a good blocker, like Academy Prodigy is a good blocker. And so we do end up in a lot of race situations, and then shutting down 2 of your opponent's units and then coming back to your attack with a 6/6 is pretty strong. This is the pile we're going to take, but looking elsewhere, this is okay. I wouldn't be upset to have a crush spot, but we don't want 3 Will of Ionias. I think 2 is kind of the limit. They fall off pretty hard. And this is a fine set as well. We'd be okay with a 2nd Mystic Shot and a piece of top end, but these 2 are just so much better for what our deck's trying to do. And here, let's see, I don't know what these are. I don't think this is something that goes better if you're playing like a Jinx along with it probably plays well with Heimerdinger. Eager Printer's fine. We would never really want Jerry Rig. Kringblade Elder is okay. These are kind of play to our theme, but Kringblade Elder I think is just it costs too much. If it costs 2, it would be a lot more interesting. But costing 3 is a bit of a burden. You get to the point to where if we're going to play this on turn 3 or turn 4, we've hopefully already played some units, and so it's probably only going to hit like two units, maybe 3 if we're having kind of a slow hand. I'm just not a huge fan of the Elder. But here, we can start out with 3 Will of Ionias and maybe get the chance to trade it away. I do want this other Inspiring Mentor. Here we go, another strong pack. Pretty excited about these. This Mentor and Conscriptor package is coming together pretty well. We do want at least 1 Scaled Snapper to hold down the ground. We wouldn't be upset to have a 2nd one. Here we're far and away from being in the Mushroom package. I'm not really interested in either of these. And this is a good pile as well. A very good aggressive package, but these aren't as good as these 2 just synergize a lot better than these do. I would have no problem with taking this, but these are much better as far as the theme of our deck goes. What do we have here? Just 5/5. But he costs spell mana being the good part with this. Okay. Here, I think I'm going to take this Interaction Pal. We still don't have a lot of top end, and this is kind of the better top end. It plays pretty well with the Eager Apprentices that we have. We're going to be able to build up spell mana. We don't have a lot of... I don't think we actually have any combat tricks. We just have, what do we have, Deny and Bounce. And so it's pretty reasonable. I would like to have the 2nd Mystic Shot so we can have some interaction. And there's a limit to how many Conspirators you want. I think 4 is probably kind of it. Because kind of the thing here is we would like to be getting rid of this Teemo. He doesn't really do anything our deck except be a kind of reasonable 1-drop. And bounce target for Conspirators, but there's going to be some kind of limit to where we don't want any more of these, and so I think we are hurting more for interaction, and we still want a little bit of top end, which the contraption is fine at doing. let's see, we trade Teemo for a Jinx. Jinx is pretty strong on her own. That is kind of an interesting choice. Let me see what these other ones are. I would much rather have an Eager Apprentice than a Lookout. And this trade is probably fun. So, kind of the thing here is, this doesn't really feel, this isn't really a Jinx deck. You're usually trying to like pair Jinx with Draven and have discard. Like this would just, in our deck, this would just be much better off as, you know, say like a Zed or a Lucian, something that's just a little cheaper, that have, you know, more relevant flips. Her flip is strong, but I just don't think we'll ever pull it off. Jinx probably has one of the strongest flips in the game, but this isn't what we're trying to do. Teemo, as much as I don't like the Puffcat theme, he's okay on his own. He fits in well with what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to pass on that one. Here, if we had a little bit more top end, I would like to make this swap. The Lifeblade is extremely good, and we would like to have some of them in our deck, but I think making this swap here is just much stronger. We don't really care about reducing the cost of our units. This guy's probably only going to get one strike in, and then this guy's pretty reasonable. He gets, if you're able to just play it and trade, you still get value out of it because he kind of pays for himself. Having something like this might make us want to look for more unlicensed innovations. So I'm going to make this swap here. Okay, so this will work. We should just be able to play Teemo and then just curve out. We can play Teemo and attack. Next turn we can play Conspirator. Then the following turn we can replay Teemo plus the second Conspirator. I think I'm not real excited about this Will of Ionia, but it might be pretty reasonable here. It is an expensive tempo play where we don't have
nothing like the great outdoors.
Excuse me, it is a reasonable tempo play where we don't have a lot of ways to interact with our opponent. But it's fine.
Adventure starts with mushrooms.
Patrol 1, Patrol 2, Patrol 3.
Here, I'm not super interested in trying to boost our Teemo. I just want to get more damage on board, and then that could maybe be some reasonable endgame, getting Teemo attacks in. This is fine. You can, you know, reduce away up here. Lots of Will of Ionias. Okay, so let's just continue our aggression.
Reporting in.
I think, let's see what he does. I'm going to protect this Teemo. We're in a spot to where we were considering Mystic Shotting this anyways, but we're going to be left with a Conspirator we can't play if our Teemo dies. Not real happy about that if we lose our Teemo and then we're just stuck with a Conspirator.
Come in. Quietly now.
That's got a sting.
What do these yordle
Look out, that's fine. Here we're really considering just we'll have to see what happens, but there's a good chance we want to keep our Teemo in play. But here it feels like we're going to just be recalling this. I don't have a great way to interact with this, and then he can't replay it this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and play Eager Apprentice. That'll give us another unit on board, and then refill our mana so we can play Recall on the Protege.
I demand satisfaction.
As we practice, team.
So we're definitely going to recall this, and I'll take this trade if he offers it up. This is going to be hard to attack. Like if he plays any unit, we probably can't attack with it, and so getting that trade there feels pretty good. So we have an interesting choice here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and attack. I would want to get Teemo to flip. This flip doesn't, the double doesn't happen until his next attack, but the thing we're excited about here is just playing Karma.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
Like we have a lot of units he needs to be dealing with this challenger, and there's a strong chance we're just going to recall it again.
The power of our order.
Ionia speaks through me.
We actually just drew a puff cap with Karma. That's interesting. See what he hits? That seems so bad for him. We can just go ahead and recall this one too. I wonder why he didn't play any units first. Okay. So let's see. This is actually a pretty reasonable Teemo package. What's his duplicate's so bad. I really don't like Mushroom Cloud. But these other cards are okay. Thermogenic Beam's pretty strong. And then Chump Wump is, you know, that little bit of piece of top end that we were looking for. Let's see what we have over here. This Karma's double up too. Create a random spell. It's not very strong. Then our last choice here being Yasuo. Yasuo is the champion we really want in our deck. This is actually pretty tough here. We don't want 4 Will of Ionias. Like yes, it played well that game. Our opponent was just playing, you know, 1 unit a turn, and we were able to keep bouncing it. But we really don't want 4 of these. We're really going to have to aggressively try to trade these out of our deck, which is not really guaranteed. The Elder and the Shadow Assassin are both pretty strong, but we have 3 Shadow Assassins already. I'm going to take the Yasuo pile here. I think we do have a little bit of stuns. We have Eon. We don't really have like the spider, the 3/2 for 3 that stuns something, which is a lot more interesting with him. Interesting. I just wonder if we can end up like picking up Yasuo and then maybe trading out Karma later. Oh, this is tough. I think this pile just gets so weak. You don't really want 4 Shadow Assassins. The Elder's kind of weak. These 2 cards, I don't know. It's 4 Will of Ionia is so bad. Yasuo's flip's so good. It might be interesting. Like if we had the 4/3 evasion that returns all your units, I think Yasuo gets more interesting. But man, I'm just gonna take this Teemo pal. As you kind of saw that last game, we have 4 Conspirators, and they're extremely bad if you can't play them. And it would be nice to just have the additional 1-drop, the pretty strong removal spell, and then just a touch of top end. So I'm gonna take this Teemo pal. Okay, we definitely don't want Karma here. I don't think we want 2 Inspiring Mentors either. We're looking to curve, and having 1 is enough. And then likely don't want this Mystic Shot. I think if we had another 2-drop in our hand already, we'd keep Mystic Shot, but without a 2-drop, I want to try and pick up a more aggressive hand. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to boost the Conspirator.
Bring me tea to gain the strength
Then
of
we're going
rivers.
to look for, play the Conspirator on 2 and then try to boost one of these on 3.
Explosives primed.
This attack isn't worth it. We're just looking to play our unit.
Where's my axe? Time for a leap of faith.
They'll never see it coming. Behind you.
He still comes in. If this... Oh, that's 1 damage to me. That's fine. If this gets a... If he plays a card and makes this a 2-for-1, that's okay. The only thing that makes it kind of suck is if he has like a quick attack, but I don't think that's really a thing. Okay, so we don't need to do it this turn. We may end up wanting to play Eager Apprentice and then shoot this down for 2. It feels all in all kind of weak. I'm just going to go ahead and mentor one of these. This should still be pretty tough to block whatever he plays for 3. There's not a whole lot of 5 toughness for 3 in his color pairing.
Let's take this puppy for a spin.
Then I don't think we'll get this. Will get something.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
We'll allow that trade if it happens. I just imagine this is going to try to kill my Conspirator. It feels like he's going to need to play cards here. I don't think he'll play 2 cards, so I don't think I'm going to get to play Apprentice plus Thermogenic Beam.
Sentinels of light don't fear the dark.
Let's see, he's likely to start attacking here. I'm not super worried about his Senna. I think our choice here is going to be how confident we feel in bouncing this and then just getting in a big attack next turn. This is a pretty bad target to be bouncing. Like as I say, like if we bounce Senna, he can't replay it. I think we're just going to have to accept he's going to eat one of our units, and then we'll actually get some width here. He doesn't have a lot of good blockers. So I'm going to go ahead and play Eager Apprentice. I would be okay with putting the Apprentice in front of his rear card, just to get it off the board. Taking a hit from Senna's fine, and then we'll just end up losing this trade here.
Ready.
Safety first.
Safety mode. Ha! Didn't
So we
build
should be in a
one.
reasonable spot. He doesn't really have any good blocks on the current board, so we can just attack right in. I'm not super worried about this 1 damage, and then if we need to, we can just kill Senna. I don't think that's what we're going to be doing. I think we'll end up following up with a giant unit, and then on his turn we'll end up recalling something. Ooh, I don't want everything.
Blast 'em!
This is just a unit, right? Yeah.
For justice.
He plays Garen, that's fine. Just a great target to recall. The tracker is a bit annoying, but there's not really anything we could do about it. Trying to think if how much we even need to try to deal with like Garen and Senna as to whether or not I just want to play Karma. I think that's fine to leave out. we'll drop this unit. 'Cause I think we're in a pretty reasonable spot here. Like, this is never going to really get an attack in.
Fierce and fashionable, no?
And so we can likely just block Garen with this 1-1. Can dumpster Senna back to his hand. He can't replay it yet.
Missed your chance to run.
So this is kind of pulling it. Oh, that's even better for us. Nice. So, like, we're definitely going to do this.
Where did that move go?
I'm feeling okay with killing his unit if he has something to boost this. The combat trick doesn't feel horrible for us. And then I think what we're going to end up doing, because this should die, we're going to return his Senna. We can't really thermogenic blast Garen and then attack, which is a little unfortunate. But here, I think that's what we're going to have to do if we're planning on attacking next turn. If he replays Senna, that's fine. She's not a good blocker. Okay. That's not great, but it's not the end of the world.
My sleeper!
No!
Oh no, blood!
And I'm going to go ahead and Mushroom Cloud. We're likely going to Thermogenic Beam next turn. And so storing up that spell mana is not going to do anything.
Stay resolute!
It's a touch awkward. I think we just have to beam his Garen. If he has a +3, this feels terrible. But we can still at least attack if that happens. Our other choice here is like how risky you want to get with the Prodigy. If we don't think he has a trick, we can just attack with the Prodigy and then Mystic Shot his Garen. That feels real awkward in these games where I'm not exactly sure how it's like attack and then have to Mystic Shot on it. It feels super weird. I'm just going to see if we either get Garen or get a spell out of his hand. Might. I guess this is the other choice here, is if we get him to 2, we can just kill him with Mystic Shot. So let's see what he plays. If he just plays like Senna, okay, that shuts down that play. Let's see.
I stand for Noxus!
I don't feel real confident we're ever going to get into real width on him. We either just need an evasion unit before he's able to get in. Shadow Assassin might be able to wrap this up.
I'm what nightmares.
So we just need to not die here. I'll go ahead and play Karma. We want him to attack before we play Shadow Assassin. That's okay. Really think as long as we don't die here, we'll win this game. Like, he's gonna eat this. We can put this in front of 5/5, take 7, and then try to kill him with Shadow Assassin, Mystic Shot. Is that even lethal? 5, 8, 12. Yeah, we have to block. Do we want to block this instead, since it'll actually kill it? 5, 9, that's pretty... He's out of mana though. That is kind of risky. I don't think it really matters. I think we're either going to get in with Shadow Assassin and win, or we're going to lose. 4 and 5 is 9, so we won't die. I guess he's playing... There is that, like, deal 4 damage card. I think it is. It's a Noxus card that either does damage to a Nexus directly. Alright, let's see how this goes.
Cannot hide.
Oh, he's got a card. Come on. Okay. We're not fully dead. We can still take a hit from his 2 units. I don't know what that thing is. Let's see. Barkeep draws anything interesting? Oh, I should have played Mentor first. That was bad. What does this do? Those seem useful. I don't really need to mentor at this point. I'll see if we draw anything next turn. I guess that wouldn't have been super exciting on Barkeep. Oh, got him for 1. Oh, endure a second Mystic Shot. Alright. Let's see if we can get him to spend some mana. That's a slow. I think we got him. Okay. That was a little closer than I would have liked. It seemed like he was making a strong comeback there. Okay, so let's see. Definitely don't want to make this bottom trade. We don't need 5 Livaonias, or 4. What are you? Create a Sumpworks map in hand at cost 0. I guess that's okay. I'm not real excited about that. And then I don't think I want 2 Eons. So how much of the same thing do these do? Give an ally elusive. Oh, and that's on Allegiance? Oh, never mind. I thought he just did it. I didn't realize that was on Allegiance. I think I'm just going to skip this pile. I don't want 2 Eons. We would like to have actually 2 Scale Snappers. And so I don't really want 0 and 2. And the Barkeep, he's fine. He's not like super exciting, but 4 Will of Ionia is just not what we want. So we're going to skip this trade. Okay, so we don't want these expensive cards. We could consider keeping Unlicensed Innovation if this was the guy that gives us spell mana, but he's not. I'm going to replace these 2. And this is kind of odd. I think I have to keep this, because if we don't mulligan into a 1, then this is just dead. Okay, we mulligan into a 1, but he's still reasonable. Like, that's a fine set on turn 3. Like, we're still gonna lead with the Mentor.
Bring me tea to gain the strength of rivers.
And then on turn 3 it's fine to just, we're gonna play Conspirator on 2, then it's fine to replay Mentor with Prodigy on 3. Not a huge fan of these cards. They're okay. I might just need to play it more. But I think they play a lot better with like Vladimir. They don't feel like Freylord cards, they feel like Vladimir cards. Granted, I haven't played a whole lot of Vladimir, but it seems like what he's trying to do. Not these guys, not Fiora Braum. Alright, so we can just chain these Conspirators this game. See, these are the hands where really, like Will of Ionia,
Quietly now.
we're just going to be straight up racing. He's never going to block these. I actually might have the opportunity to block his stuff, but don't really want to. I don't like losing these guys to combat tricks. And then just, you know, on turn 4, bouncing his 4-drop sets them so far behind. This guy just has a bad connection and he's going to disappear. It's been roping every turn. I'm going to assume he's just disconnected.
You'll thank me later.
But this does, I mean, this feels like a pretty strong hand. It is what our deck's trying to do. So,
Looking for
but
a daring escape.
the 2/4/3s, and then on turn 4 we can play 2 Mentors with the Prodigy. It'll be our turn attack on turn 5, but then we just have these Mentors that should shut down any race. You really need Overwhelms to get past the Mentors. Excuse me.
My training is unconventional. One spring for each crab I saw today.
Yeah, he has to just be disconnected.
Charged up and ready to go!
I know a way.
I'm not sure at what point it just kicks him out. Alright. Maybe after this last rope, this game will end. It will not. Yeah, the Mystic Shot with deny back up. That'll do it. Jeez. There we go, we did it. Okay, so continuing on here with the champion pick. Let's see. I'm not super interested in this Yasuo pile. We've we passed on the last Yasuo. This this set doesn't really help. He does have a pretty strong duplicate effect, but this just isn't what we're going to be doing. We don't want 2 Yones. The only recalls we really have are with the Conspirator. We do have a lot of them, but not really like dedicated recall. So look, I'm likely just going to be taking this Teemo pal. Not super excited about having 3 Teemos because his Mushroom Cloud is pretty bad. That would give us a second Thermogenic Beam, and Chump Wump is kind of okay. Still pretty much lacking down here in the 4, 5, and 6 drop department. And so these 2 cards are pretty strong. The Karma Pal, I think I like Karma's ability worse. I think, at least in our deck, her ability is worse than Teemo's. And then these cards, yes, we want another Chump Wump, but this guy we're just never going to use. I don't think we've gotten up to 8 mana in any of our games. It's just not something that we've really needed. He is a pretty reasonable piece of top end, but that top end is too high. We'd be cool with like a pretty good like 6, pretty good 8 is not what we need. So we're just going to take this Teemo pal again. He at least does help boost us on our 1-drop needs. Okay, and then kind of same deal as the last game. I want to keep the Conspirator, keeping the Prodigy just in case we don't draw one, but we are a little stronger at drawing ones now that we have 3 Teemos. I think this is the first game we haven't drawn a 1-drop with this. This is where these hands get awkward. We do still have at least like combos here. I'm going to go ahead and Eager Apprentice. Oh, it's our attack. I'm going to say, because we can Apprentice, get up to 3 spell mana, and then start Thermogenic Beaming stuff. And then, like, this is a reasonable bounce for a Conspirator, because we don't really want to be bouncing this one. I think I'm okay with this.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
And then if he gets to attack into something he can trade with, definitely okay with trading with Battlesmith. And this is a unit actually that if he doesn't accept the trade, I'll beam it. With a hand this slow, like, we really need to be drawing a 1-drop, otherwise these Conspirators are way too slow. And if he has like an elite curve draw, we're never going to be beating that dude. He's just going to be playing 4/4s over and over again.
You won't want it.
It's kind of interesting as to whether or not we want to Mystic Shot this. We could make a lot of value plays, but I think I just have to get this off the board. Like, we aren't real spell heavy, so like these combos of, you know, playing a Conspirator to bounce the Apprentice, replaying it for additional mana, it's not, I don't feel like it's super important here. This is awkward as it gets.
Stay safe. I'll take it from
Play
here.
Conspirator, we can play this. It really depends on what he plays, see if he plays something that this can attack into or not. He should just be playing 3/3s.
Discipline and steel.
So this should be pretty safe.
Let's take this puppy for a spin. I am one
Okay, that's fine.
blend.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
This is why I was wanting to take those, okay. It's gonna barrier or something to make this trade? I think that's fine. Okay. do need to be getting as aggressive as possible. Drawing a 1-drop would be huge. Because we're never going to beat his top end. Never, never, never. He's going to start playing 5/5s and stuff here.
Break their spirits and their swords.
So it's an interesting choice here. We can just play Chump Wump to try to get him to stop attacking with his Damatian Sergeant, and then if it gets a spell, it gets a spell. I think I'm okay with that, as long as he stops playing units. And then next turn we'll have 6 mana, so we should be able to have 2 Conspirators on the board. But that does require bouncing. We can bounce Chump Wump. I think that's...
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform.
Run them through. Aha!
Interesting. We're not going to play any of these puff caps. I want to build up that spell mana for the moment. We don't have any spells at this exact time, but they should be coming along. That was a big pickup. We needed that a long time ago.
You'll soon understand my methods.
So we'll see if he just plays like a 5/5 here. That would be awkward, but we should at least be getting 2 Conspirators in this round for 8 damage. So, assuming he doesn't do a whole lot except play dudes, we'd be looking to get that 8 damage in this turn. Let's see if he hits. If you got my last one, I missed with this like, every time. It was super frustrating. But if like all he does next turn is play dudes and then for Demacia, we should be in a pretty good spot to kill him on our next attack 2 turns from now.
Get me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
Time for a leap of faith.
I think I will end up puff capping this turn. We're going to have 7 mana next turn, and so if we do draw something like a recall, we can still play the Mentor and play the Conspirator. And we do have the options here to start to also bounce Chump Wump to get these mushrooms in his deck. I'm not real excited about doing that, but we might be able to get like 1 or 2 damage out of them.
My time has come.
So that's fine. Let me think if I want to do this. Like realistically on his turn he's going to attack with both. He's going to hook a Conspirator and he'll probably do something like play a 5/5, which isn't super scary for us. So I think I do want to go ahead and play this dumb card and see if we can't get a couple damage out of it. Like we're really wanting to get 3 out of it, but I don't think that's a realistic ask. Okay, so he's going to hook both of my Conspirators, which I think is, I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. We're just going to, I can go ahead and play Eager Apprentice Karma, but I think that's things I'd rather do after he attacks. I'm going to go ahead and play Eager Apprentice
How can I help?
because I don't care what happens to it, and it gives us a blocker if he does something kind of scary. But I think I'm really just looking to play Karma here, and then on the following turn we'll have another Conspirator we can attack with.
I demand satisfaction. Show them our medal.
Okay, I'll definitely block his 4/4 here. This is not a good attack. because that's going to let me attack with my Prodigy next turn.
Sure, boss.
Worth it.
So now I'm gonna I'm not taking the value route here. I'm going to play Conspirator, and then he's going to be forced to block Prodigy, which should be a value trade for me, unless he wants to spend a card, which we're also reasonably happy with.
Betricide protect me.
That kind of sucks. That takes a lot of that plan out.
Just act natural. I gotcha.
And we'll go ahead and boost Karma.
Get me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
Never going to be attacking with Karma into this board, so we'll definitely be attacking before we play her. It's interesting. We can likely end up... He has a challenger in his hand. We don't know what it is, but he got a challenger off his 5/4 that died.
I know a way.
And so, very strong likelihood that we recall our Conspirator.
Halt.
You don't scare me.
Could spend a card on it, that's fine.
The sun is shining. We should too.
Looks so he's gonna be playing for Demacia next turn.
Ionia
It's like,
speaks
without a doubt
through
gonna
me.
happen. Ooh, that could be huge. Oh, it's need to do one. I'm gonna get him with the puff caps. What are we at in here? Gonna 1 in 3 chance of sniping off a puff cap. That's fine. He's gonna be dropping 4 Demacia afterwards. This costs 12. I'm just gonna leave this unit behind. I think he's gonna play 4 Demacia and challenger our Conspirator, and then I'll just recall this. That will give him the opportunity. No, I'm gonna have to recall my own guy because he can play Lux Spark on my unit. So we're gonna pass here. I'm gonna wait till he plays 4 Demacia, and then I'm going to progress day and see if we hit a Mystic shot. We did not, so that's gonna go off. That's fine. We can also just kill him with Teemo. That was a pretty reasonable draw.
Better, brighter than before.
So as long as we don't die here, we should be able to recall something, play Teemo, and then after he attacks we can play Teemo, and then kill him on his turn. Not playing any of these. I guess I can play Eager Apprentice, because that'll net me a spell mana.
I'm on it. I learned that in class.
And his board doesn't overwhelm, so this isn't super scary. He should probably go ahead and Final Spark now, so I can't block with this. Yeah.
No more holding back.
Worth it.
Recall just feels a lot better. I don't...
Fall to our standard.
So we're going to want to... we're going to end up wanting to recall this thing. Oh, I thought that had Challenger. Oops. Okay, either way. Can you kill anything? I do not want to give him a spell, so we don't want that thing to die. So okay, we can put you here. These can come hang out down here. We can recall. Do I even want to block with Karma? Probably not. How much are we looking to take here? We can shift you down. We're taking 10 and go to 6. That's fine, we'll get to draw another card, another spell in case things go wrong. And we can recall this guy, try to get in with our Teemo. That feels fine.
My sleep button!
Another day in the field.
Peace begins within.
Alright, let's see if he has anything. Nice. Let's see, what are you? He's fine. That's a consideration there. I don't like this guy nearly as much as the dude that draws a card. I don't feel like their health is super important. Don't want any more Yones, don't want any more Will of Aonias, so it really comes down to if we want to do this. I don't think so. I'm kind of happier having this big dude. We need something to do with our eager apprentices, and this doesn't add a whole lot. Another 2/2 or 2 attack, 3 cost elusive when we already have 3 shadow assassins doesn't really excite me. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and skip this trade. Interesting combination. Okay, so as with the 2 previous games, we're going to keep the Conspirator and the Prodigy for a 1-drop. Our attacks, we want to play the Prodigy. It's a good chance he gets in. Okay, there's a Mentor. Not sure if his hand is just awkward or if he was really wanting to charge up the 3 spell mana. It seems like an awkward combination to be wanting to charge up spell mana. And that's fine. He's not gonna out-aggressive us.
To gain the strength of rivers.
It's fine. We'd probably never be blocking there anyways.
Time for a leap of faith.
And here, I'm probably going to want to attack before I play cards. I don't like the idea of him playing a 4-drop. 4-drops are pretty likely to be able to deal with this. That did make it kind of a more interesting option. We do get more damage with this anyways. So let's see what happens.
Get me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
I have a feeling that's going to stop our attack with the Prodigy, but we will get in one more damage with the Conspirator. And in the event that he doesn't have anything, that's just super good for us. But for a deck that doesn't seem like they're doing spell stuff, for them to not play a 1 or a 2 drop, I have to imagine he has a 4 drop here. That's fine.
Needs more testing.
There's always a way out.
And what's going to happen here? I'll likely just want to boost our Yusari. He should be a reasonable play next turn. He's not anywhere near aggressive for us to need to Will of Ionia something. Oh, he has a Conspirator of his own. Interesting. I'm not like excited about that trade happening. It is pretty reasonable to recall his Conspirator, but I don't think we have any reason to stop being aggressive here. Oh wow, and he just takes it? Wow. That's extremely good for us.
Bring me tea to gain the strength of rivers.
Like, he doesn't have time to be doing Conspirator things. I have no idea why he'd play Conspirator and not block. That should be huge for us.
I've dressed for the occasion.
I'm not worried about Vladimir. So we can safely play Yusari here.
The power of our order.
Then next turn we'll have 7 mana, so we can Will of Ionia and deny. Getting Elusive this round, okay.
Full-bodied red.
For each other attacking ally, deal 1 to it and 1 to the enemy. Okay.
Quietly now.
Okay, this is fine. This is never going to kill us with whatever his 1 bonus is. I mean, he just burnt that Elusive card. Okay, whatever.
No way. Don't want any trouble.
Oh, is that how that works? Boo. Boo, he's gonna get to block. But it's a fast spell, so I mean... so at this point, how much do we care about this? We can deny that. He's not playing Shadowlands, so he can't ruinate us. I'm not sure how that works. If I'd played this before I attacked. Alright, well, still want to get this damage in. Even if we do 8, that does give us a chance. If everything goes wrong here, that does give us a chance to kill him with a buff cap or a mystic shot. Frostbite, sure. Oh, he didn't get to block. He probably could have. I feel like he should have been able to put his blocker out. Still don't fully understand that whole combat step in this game. I'm too used to magic style.
The hand of Noxus himself.
So he plays
Stay out
Darius.
of my way, creature.
That doesn't really change anything for our attack next turn. We just want to draw a spell.
Refreshments from across Runeterra.
Okay, that seems like it's probably a good one.
Let it flow.
Deal 1 damage. Darius has Overwhelm, so let's just block here.
How did that
In case he has some kind of shenanigans. I'm not super familiar with Darius Vladimir stuff. I don't think they have big punishes here.
Witness true strength.
Let's get Teemo online.
Hut, 2, 3, 4.
Like, I don't... I assume that like there could be some kind of AoE here that just ruins this attack, but there is. I don't think I've seen it.
Ahead.
I guess you could like stun some stuff here. I can't imagine he can stun 4 dudes. In that last game or the game before, that guy did play that thing that stuns guys with 4 or less health, or less than 4. I don't remember. But I think that was a slow stuff. We'll figure these things out with time. We'll get blown out in that spot eventually and remember what the card is. Okay, so let's see. There's a big choice if we want to go up to 5 conspirators. It has been kind of awkward in the past 2 games not drawing Teemo or Inspiring Mentor and having these dudes just sit around. I don't know if we really want to go up to 5 conspirators. Clump of Wumps is not something I really want to be playing, but that's just so many of these. I mean, we definitely don't want the 3rd or the 4th Will of Ionia. That's a pretty easy decision. This isn't the worst swap here, but as you saw even in like that last game, if we, Dawn and Dust on Yasari, it would have just ended the game. It would have been, 15, and if we have one of those +1 boosted conspirators, this should help us get in for an additional 8. And so I think I do want to keep the 1 Dawn and Dusk here. This is tough. Like Clump of Wumps I think is just so bad. I mean, it's not bad, it's just not what we're trying to do. I think I'm gonna stop it with the 4 conspirators. It's just... can't decide. Like these games where we've been able to mentor into conspirator just haven't been close, especially when we like mentor into 2 conspirators. Alright, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if that's correct, but okay, that's pretty easy. Mulligan everything but the conspirator. Now we're going to draw like 3 or 4 of them and not be able to play it because we have 5 in our deck. I think at least the key thing playing against Shadowlands is that that 1 damage make a spider costs 2 mana. I think Noxus has things that deal 1 damage for 1, but getting a Mentor blasted here would be so bad.
Get me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
I guess kind of the thing we run into here. I haven't decided. I don't think I like making a 3-2 and then making a 5-4. I think I just want to keep making 4 3s across the board.
Looking for a daring escape.
It's an interesting card to give +1/+1. Like I have no intention of blocking this ever. Okay. So I mean, I wonder, he has to have more units in his hand or he wouldn't be playing Sun Seeds.
My training is unconventional. Get me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening there.
Tea for two.
I'm gonna go ahead and block here. We're not at any risk of running out of 4/3 elusives to play. And he spends a card on one of them. I think that's
Time for a
fine.
leap of faith.
I'm gonna play out everything before we attack next turn. I'm gonna play the Mentor, Conspirator, and Teemo.
One sprint for each crab I saw today. They picked the wrong row?
I'll go ahead and play Teemo first. I don't know if there's a fast spell that could kill my Mentor and make this awful, or if this is like an additional cost is returning the unit.
Psst, act natural. I gotcha.
I guess our choice here is to whether or not we want to send in Teemo with the option of giving him a value block to get in the additional damage. I think we do.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
I can't imagine with our board against his, he doesn't want to take down one of our conspirators.
This starts with mushrooms.
I'll show you how it's done.
Okay, I'm still willing to do this.
You call that sneaky?
Usually just never blocking these. Draw a card and see what happens. Also want to be playing Eager Apprentice here. Sure.
Worth it.
How can I help? Oh, that's a good one.
So if he doesn't play a unit here, I'm likely just going to fill out my board. We can just recall whatever he plays. But it's not really even necessary. This will probably just kill him.
I know a way.
Okay. Alright, so let's get into that game 7. See if we can pull off a 7-0 with this gem. See if we can end up with like 7 conspirators after the trade round. I'm not taking any more conspirators. 5 is enough. Prodigy, what's this? Deal 1 damage to 2 enemies. Draw 1. It's kind of interesting. I'm not trading out Teemos for Zed. Zed is pretty reasonable in this deck, but I think I'm more than happy with just mentoring up conspirators. I don't think we're ever going to be mentoring up Zed. That's what I'm doing in the constructed deck I'm playing, where I'm playing Mentor, Omen Hawk, and the 5/5 that gives everything in your deck +1. But that's not what this deck's doing. So I'm not real interested in Zed. I don't want the second conspirator. I'm kind of interested here. We've kind of moved beyond what was I trying to get at? We've tried like move beyond needing 2 drops. I mean, we have 5 conspirators and 3 eager apprentices, so I'm okay with losing the prodigy. The only time this doesn't feel good is when we have that awkward draw where we don't have the 1 drop to go along with the conspirators. I think the thing with this is there's not a lot of units we're actually going to be killing with Static Shock. So I don't think I want it. We are kind of lacking ways to interact. This depends on, like, it feels so expensive for the cost. I don't think we've never just been sitting around on mana. I'm gonna skip that one. I'm not convinced on that being good. So Karma for Jinx. I still don't really want Jinx. Don't need more Will of Ionias. This is kind of interesting here. Gringblade Duo is extremely good and we don't have any of them. I think I'm just gonna make this swap. We have played the innovation, but it hasn't been like super necessary. Whereas if we play a duo and start doing this stuff where we're bouncing a mentor, like we're playing a mentor and a conspirator, it just deals so much damage. This is just a pretty strong unit. I'm going to make this swap here. So Teemo for Yasuo I don't really want. Chemprek Shredder is good, but I don't think this is a deck that wants it. And we've never wanted to play Yone for another Gringblade Duo. I'm pretty happy with this swap. I don't think we're really looking for True Shot Barrage. I don't want any more Shadow Assassins. 3 is more than enough. Not really wanting True Shot Barrage. Don't want that. I'll skip this one. I'm happy with the 2 beams. This is a downgrade. I don't want to do that. And we don't want Yones. We just got rid of the one we had. Karma for Zed. That is kind of interesting. We aren't really doing Karma stuff with this deck. So let's see. I want to keep my Mystic Shots. True Shot Barrage. I don't think we really need. We can get to 7 mana. We have like the 3 Eager Apprentices that would drop us to 2. I mean, it would be good in like a mirror match. It's not good in every match. These are tough. Because Karma's not particularly good in this deck either. Zed is more along the lines of what our deck's doing. Just random spells are so random. You're just not guaranteed. I'm going to make this swap. I'm going to pick up the Zed for Karma. He's just so much more aggressive. Ezreal. Interesting. Let me see. This is a reasonable trade. I'm not going to have 2 Ezreals. I do think Ezreal's probably better than Zed in our deck. The Lifeblade is extremely good, and we don't have any of them. I'm kind of thinking along the lines of this more. I think Zed and Ezreal are probably going to be along a similar power level. Is his Mystic Shot free? No. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm just going to change out this Chump Wump for a Lifeblade. Okay, the deck's pretty strong. As long as we don't get one of those super awkward Conspirator draws where we don't have a 1-drop, I think we should be in a pretty positive percentage to win. There's no 1-drops. I'm going to keep the Duo just to have a 2. Well, I think we have to be able to safely mulligan this, right? We have 5 Conspirators and 2 Duos in the deck, so we have to be drawing a 2-drop. I think we want to cycle out everything to look for a 1. Okay, got the 1. Does suck to not have a 2, but we do have a lot we can do with our mana here. I'd be okay if it's okay to bank it. I'm kind of okay with just beaming anything. This does lead to kind of awkward situations. It's something that you typically use to deal, like, 5 damage to something. But we'll see. Maybe somebody just disconnected in round 7. Okay, so I'm just going to bank the mana. This is something we might be reasonably happy with killing with this. This kind of depends on how big it gets and how scary it looks. He is playing Ionia as well, so he may have plays here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the duo online.
The Yordle here's with me.
So we should be able to shoot anything elusive that he has, and then I can say if he doesn't play anything elusive, then we're okay with just banking mana. But I definitely want to get this off board. I think I'm going to Mystic Shot it. It'll let me save a mana. And I might be more interested in hitting like the 2/3 with Elusive Lifesteal. Man, do you have a card? Recall. Okay, that's fine.
Underestimate. I dare you.
You'll never know what hit him. More mushrooms.
I mean, we could have just played Zed there. Not sure. I don't really like him building up a board. Here I would like to get the Lookout online. I think we're getting to the point to where we're going to have to deal with this. If we play the Lookout, we'll bank 1 mana and have 6 on our turn. We should be able to play Zed and then blast this for 3. That almost guarantees that he's going to put a Shadow Assassin in front of our big damage unit.
Give me a sweet bun. Heightens the senses.
He's going to spend 3. I have to imagine he's just going to play Shadow Assassin. So I don't think the ordering of these really matter unless we want to. I don't think we want to recall that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play our Shadow Assassin and see what we draw. And we definitely want to be keeping 1 spell mana.
The order rewards
So I think this is okay. I'm going to mentor the Zed. Then on our turn we're going to look to Zed and then shoot his Shadow Assassin.
Try to keep up.
That's fine.
They cannot hide.
Three isn't super scary. Okay, well, let's see how we can brutalize this for 5 mana.
Do not fear the shrouded path.
I walk your path alone.
Because it feels like a spot where he probably needs to recall my Zed. This just such a. It seems like this is such a huge blowout turn if he doesn't pop him. This is going to give this +2.
Don't let the fluffy tails fool
Not
you.
sure. Like, if he recalls this, that's fine. He is, getting card advantage from the draws, but like with the way this game's playing out, he's never going to play every card in his hand. denies? Okay. So now the question is if we want to let him get a value trade with his Shadow Assassin, and I'm pretty sure I'm fine with that. I think the he's like, I don't know how he's thinking on his side as to whether or not he's just going to block Teemo to keep him from flipping. I really don't care if he blocks Teemo. I think his more likely block is on the duo, which I think we're also okay with. But if we're in a spot where we're okay with him blocking Teemo and we're okay with him blocking this, I think we have to get in with everything. Mentor can stay back. Mentor will be really good when one of these are trying to do like 5 damage. But here he has to either, like, he can block a 4 with the Mentor, but otherwise he's either going to be making good blocks and taking a shitload of damage, or he's just going to be making bad blocks. Which I'm pretty sure we're happy with either outcome. Okay. That seems pretty good for us.
Oh, I did my best.
Eager Apprentice is pretty reasonable here. We're gonna try to get some kind of blowout next turn with the Will of Ionia. Although this kinda sucks, I have to assume he's gonna try to pop a Zed with this. The question becomes, can we still kill him if he pops Zed? And I think we're okay. So, we only have 6 mana. Because I think if we do this Will correctly on our turn, I imagine that he's going to try to pop Zed, and then follow up with his own Shadow Assassin. Oh yeah, Shadow Assassin. Interesting. I'm just going to play the Apprentice at this point.
How can I help? Oh, that's a good one.
I'll cut them apart. You're mine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm pretty sure we're just more interested in recalling his Shadow Assassin. And I don't think he can kill me with this kind of attack. He can stun something. We're gonna have to try to attack. Imagine he has the kind of deck that really wants to be playing Eon, and so I think that's what's going to happen to us if we don't attack first.
I will play my part.
Let's see. I'm just going to make this one block. Looks like we're going to take 4. If he has a stun, we'll take 6. I think that's fine. Then we're going to get the Life Blade on board. And then I think we should be able to kill him on our turn with the fast spell. And then that should be before he's allowed to get Eon online. I don't think we get to play a fast spell and then he gets the follow-up. I think that only happens with slow spells. But let's see if we're about to have a learning moment. See, I don't understand that. I'm gonna get my attack in, recall this, and then I think he's like, does he still get to block with this? I just haven't figured out how this works. Right, because otherwise I'd rather just play.
It's
Yeah, see, that's would have just played Shadow Assassin if, like, if he was going to get the chance to respond. We might lose because of this. Let's see. If he starts stunning things, Yasuo is going to be a problem. Because now we're going to get in through 0 with this. Oh, that's so brutal. Like, we still would have gotten burned had he not been able to block. That would have been a pretty strong Yasuo hit, but would have been so much better. I don't know. I'm just going to have to figure out how that actually works. We have 9. I think we quite need to play Teemo right here. Oh, yeah, I imagine that's going to lose it for us. That turn was just horrible. Like, we'd be in such a spot here if, you know, knowing how that actually works. If we just attacked with everything, he puts a blocker down, he tries to stun stuff, and then we just bounce his Yasuo. So he doesn't take the damage, but then we don't lose our units. Or, you know, we'd have the option to just swap this. Yeah, that's going to be huge. I don't think we can win this game anymore. We can block here. We're going to take 9. I think just the risk we have to take. Let's get these dudes online.
I learned that in class.
I don't think we have anything that can pull us back out of this, but
The order
that was
rewards.
brutal.
Reporting it.
So I mean, I guess it's just burst spells. Like if we want to make a play to where we, where we return their unit, we just have to be bursting stuff. Imagine this turn is going to go fairly poorly. I think I have to attack first, in case he has Eon. I can't attack with Teemo anymore because we're not really threatening lethal on him.
Strike for the balance.
And I want to play these in case he has Eon. That still feels like something he's trying to do. This Yasuo flips, we're going to be in a super bad spot. Super bad. We're already in a super bad spot. It's just going to be probably unwinnable. But at least here, I mean, we can bounce the Shadow Assassin. It is going to lose its +1/+1, which sucks, but I think we need to be drawing a card. We still have some blockers for the Blade Whirlers.
Think they can see me?
Double stuns again.
You cannot escape.
Sure. Does this stop the combat when he stuns? Let those return to my hand.
Rivers shape the land and give it life.
Why is that not in the log? Round 9, needed combat stuff. Oh, it just stunned them and pushed it back. So I want to return you.
There's always a way out.
The dark beckons.
Okay. Need the random spell of the century right here.
Yeah. Try to keep up.
Blade never gets any lighter.
They cannot hide.
Okay, so we're definitely doing this. I do have to put something in front of Yasuo. I essentially have to block everything. I can take the hit from his River Shaper, but that's pretty scary. Teemo's not doing anything, I'm fine with that. And I think that's one we want to use. We can bounce something. I think that's likely what we need to do. I want to keep my elusives. We'll bounce this guy that's ridiculous mode. And then see if we draw the spell of the century. I guess I probably should have put a blocker in front of this. If my Will of Onya gets denied, we just lose. Where we'd still be in the game there. I'm feeling pretty good about drawing the spell of the century right here. Swap and get barrier. Yeah, so I should. I don't die because this should life steal me up. Oh, that recalled as Yasuo.
What form will the waters take?
I had no idea cards did that.
Refreshment from across Runeterra.
Something awesome. Okay.
Is a leaf's only
It's certainly
purpose
something.
to fall?
Oh, that's one short. 9, 10, 11. So I think I can attack with the Barkeep. He's never going to block it. And then if we can survive one turn, we might be able to get him with Dawn and Dusk. Is that one-time dealer? I guess we also, like, I don't know how many more stuns he has. He's played 4 stuns. It doesn't seem like he should have very many left. But I forgot we also got the non-buff caps in here. Like, just, if I could have boosted the Conspirator, assuming everything goes well, boosted the Conspirator, got in for 11 with my elusives, and then buff capped him. the Teemo dream. But seems like he's gonna let everything through and then just stun some stuff. Sure. Yeah, so it's gonna flip now. That's pretty bad. I guess it doesn't super matter for us for the most part with the cards in our deck. If they were getting popped for 2 by Yasuo, it was just gonna kill him.
Worth
it. All will kneel before Noxus. Noxus always wants something from Ionians.
Alright. Oh, so you have to deny? You really just need to draw the card with this. Come on, dude. Alright, I don't think we can recover there. I think if we draw Recall, that might do it. We can definitely block this with our 3-2. Oh, Yasuo's. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. We got there. Damn. We would have got the puff cap. I mean, he had deny. We couldn't play Dawn and Dusk, but oh man, we could have been the puff cap dream. Can't play any of these. All right. That was it. Man. I mean, we're still in it, even after that blowout of a turn of things not working how I thought they worked. Um, still close to just getting it. 15. I don't need to see. Oh, I can't retire and claim. I'm gonna have to see how much dust you get for 6 wins. I feel like I can pretty consistently 6 win across 2, if not 7 win, at least one of them. But I'm not sure how much you follow this. I am a free-to-play player, and there's a certain point. I mean, it feels like I'm probably just going to be spending all of my gems on these anyways, but I'm curious what the break-even point is as to where I can start shifting gems back into cards that I need. But alrighty, well, that was a 6 winner with Teemo there. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I thank you much.